Good afternoon, everyone. It's Karol Jarkowski from Kentico Software. I would like to welcome you on today's webinar. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for your time that you're gonna invest in attending this webinar. First of all, some organization things like with any of our other seminars. If you have any issues in hearing me or seeing my screen, or if you have any other consideration that you want to share, just use the chat box, chat window on your control panel. For the questions, you can use the question box again on your control panel. We will answer the questions at the end of this webinar. So before we start, I would like to mention that this week the Kentico is traveling around the Netherlands. We are visiting our partners in the Netherlands, and thanks to one of our partners, the DNA services, I'm able to present you with this webinar directly from their offices. So, as you can see on the today's agenda is, or today's topic is about effective gathering of requirements for Kentico CMS project. And this webinar is mostly aimed on those of you who are in some way involved in discussion with customer on what are the actual requirements for the website. It should also, if you participate in process of traversing through the project proposal provided by a customer at the initial stage, you may find these upcoming 45 minutes enriching your approach of gathering details on project requirements, or at least I believe so. So, as you may already know, we are working on a new methodology, new Deliver Now methodology that will basically guide you through the whole project development process from the very beginning till the post-development phase, and provide you with all the important considerations in order to ensure your project success. Therefore, we have decided to base this webinar on the methodology itself. In the next slides, we will go through the 8 simple questions that you should definitely ask the customer before we move forward to the website specification or any development related action. Based on our experience and experience of some of our customer and partners, this question may provide you with the most important pieces of information and clarification on specific project areas. And I know, I believe you are all successful companies, and you are interviewing your customers various ways that suits best you and the nature of your company and of your customers. However, I feel that you may still verify you're not missing anything important there by participating in this webinar. So after we go through these questions, I'm going to present you with two documents that will be part of the Deliver Now methodology that will be available for you as a partners, and that will help you to keep track of the requirements and provide the developers with a solid source of information, transforming customer needs in, I would say, easy to follow website specification. So let's start with the agenda itself. Right. So as you can see, the agenda will be quite simple. Today we will take a look on Kentico CMS project lifecycle. It will be the schema that you might have a chance to see in one of my blog posts, and that you get the chance to see in the Deliver Now methodology. We will go through the question in part of the webinar I called What to Ask, and then we will go through the project specification and website structure sheet templates, the documents I mentioned we will take a look on. Okay, so let's move to the Kentico CMS project lifecycle. I'm pretty sure that I have already mentioned that we in Kentico CMS consider the project development process to consist of 6 basis phases that relates to each other, and as the schema pictures, the one phase produces output that is input for next phase, and so on. So from the picture you can obviously see that the requirements as the phase that is entry point for the process development is very important, because all the outputs from the upcoming phases are based on what you produce in requirements phase. So the requirements phase, and I believe we all probably agree on this, is the phase where all the necessary information should be gathered. You are looking for the accurate information provided by the customer that will be used for the next phases. It usually follows an initial stage where the project proposal is provided to you by the customer. This phase should be obviously shouldn't be rushed in any way. You're trying to get as much information as you can from the customer on what is the goal of the project and what functionality is required. As I mentioned, all the input data gained at this stage tends to be used during the phases that follow, so you will refer to this piece of information over and over again. You should be really thorough during the requirements phase, and that's why we have prepared this webinar for you to present 8 fundamental questions that as much easy and straightforward they might see. We want to show you that there is much more behind those questions, and that you can kind of include it in your custom requirement gathering process to get as much out of customer as possible. So Obviously, in the methodology one, it's when it's going to be released, you will find more areas that you should be interested for, not only the 8 as presented in the webinar, but I have chosen, from my point of view, the most important ones. So the first one and is what is the goal of the project. You are asking the customer this question to get his picture on what the project, where the project should be positioned at the end. You try to categorize your project based on the size of the website, its purpose, the target audience, position on the market, and so on, to understand whether it's going to be simple web presentation, a complex portal, extranet or internet solution, or something like a community portal, is crucial for getting familiar with the customer needs. In addition to that, asking and discussing with the customers about the goal of the project, the customer himself can realize that maybe there is something that they didn't think about, and so correctly identify type of the project will help you to set ideas you are going to implement into the right context. Also, you may search for motivation behind the customer decision to go for a new website. It might be out of date look and feel of the website, or the need to improve the old navigation, maybe usability of the website, accessibility and availability of the website, or most probably these days it could be the SEO and conversion rate of the website, if the website is the main marketing leads factory for the customer. So you should really get completely familiar with the customer motivation behind going for a new website. We are working on a new Kentico website, and it helped us a lot to motivate developers, and to give them the right picture of a new website from the very beginning, once we have defined the goals and the reasons behind the decision for in going for a new website. So that's the first question. Yeah. The second question I consider to be important to mention and discuss with your customer is what is the expected number of users or page views during the peak load, and what is the expected number of documents on the website. You probably understand that it is important to know at least the approximate number, or only the approximate number, because I barely feel like any of your customers will give you the exact number, but the approximate number of users you can expect to visit your website per day, as well as the number of page views your website is supposed to handle. Basically, try to agree with the customer on these approximate numbers of users able to log in to the member areas of your website. It really doesn't matter if those users will be end users or user accessing the secured area on the live site, or editors or designers granted with the access to the administration user interface of CMS. Basically, in here you want to get information on load your website would face during the peak load period. This kind of information is important to once you will gonna consider applying the caching when you get to the phase, to the stage where you enter the optimization and tuning performance of the website, and also during the analysis and design phase. It will give you the great idea on in what way the website needs to be architected in order to support the expected load. As you will see, this information is closely related to architecting the content tree structure, using the right caching type, and so on. So another question that rise in my mind related to this one would be whether the content on the website will be static or the dynamic one. It's important to know whether it's going to be static or dynamic in order to set up the right caching type. If you have static content, you don't need to worry about the caching at all. You will just enable the full page cache for the whole website, and you will get the performance boost that will easily handle even the highest number of documents. However, if you're going to implement some personalized sections on your website, the parts of the website that should be really dynamic ones, you will probably need to use the content caching or the partial caching for the web parts based on whether what are the requirements on reflecting the changes on the live site once they are done in the CMS desk. Also, another follow-up question would be how many documents customer plan to include within the website in overall, even once the website is going to grow, once the website is going to gain additional modules. So what is the expected number of documents on the website may be not only at the beginning in the first version or so, but overall in total. It's important to consider this information when designing the content tree structure, because as some of you probably know, the size of the content tree table, or the database table that handles information on content tree nodes, influence the performance of the website, because more nodes in the content tree table, the longer time it takes for the SQL server to search this table to pick up the right one and to display it to the user when the request comes to the website. So even if with the latest version you get quite solid solution that scales very well for 100,000 documents, you still need to consider the expected number of documents when designing the content tree, so you know how many sections in the content tree you should create to categorize the content tree, to create the hierarchy of the nodes in the content tree, so we don't have all the documents under the single parent. Instead, you have multiple root or parent nodes, and then you categorize, you place or other documents under those two to create the hierarchy in the content tree. Also, as part of this discussion, you may get more information on customer idea on whether the content should be shared between multiple websites. If you are going for designing the whole company portal that is divided in multiple section, so you multiple departments, let's say, so you will have multiple websites whether the customer wants to share some content or not, and it's also good to know before you start architecting the content tree. So as you will see later, you are going to build the whole website structure all around the information gained in this phase, and in addition, plenty of the system settings are more or less dependent on what you get here. The next question would be, what is the structure of the website, and what is the required structure of the website, and what types of content will be published. As already mentioned, you need to gain all possible details on what type of content will be eventually placed on the website and therefore displayed to the visitors. The goal is to find out whether the built-in document types could serve the customer's requirements well, or you will need to create your custom ones. So you may ask whether the customer plans to include some kind of document repository on your website for documents, video and audio files, images, and media files in general, because it will help you to decide what is the best option for storing and managing media files in Kentico CMS, whether to store those in file system or database, and what type of storage or module to use for managing the files uploaded to the website. I mean, whether to go for the content tree, whether to go for media library, or even the attachments, because each of those options have some pros and cons. You know that as I mentioned, the content tree will allow you to apply the Windows style ACLS on per document level. However, if you plan to upload hundreds of thousands, like let's say 500,000 media files, large ones, and you want and you would expect the website to perform the same way as you will see with the simple presentation, company web presentation. That's obviously not what's going to happen. So you will need to consider all three options. With media libraries, you can store files, physical files, in a file system, to allow users for example, upload it through the FTP without the need to access the server or to use the upload dialogues to do so, or you can go for attachments that are not the, stored in the content tree, however, still allows you to apply enhanced security settings for the media files. Moreover, you should discuss what items should be contained within the navigation. Some of the customers may not have clear picture on what should be displayed in the navigation, and if you work with the Kentico for some time, you know that there are some settings that influence whether the particular item will be displayed in navigation or not in the standard out-of-box navigation elements. So this will help you to include these settings in your to-do list. Also, ask whether there is any requirement for implementing the membership areas or restricted section of the website. Again, this is a very clear picture, a very clear question, sorry, that will help you to get enough of information for the action where you will set up the security settings using the Kentico ACLSs, and of course, related to these membership areas and secured section, you may ask for any requirements on personalized content. You know, whether the layout should change with per user, styles and look of the page should change on the current user. The next question I consider to be important one, and I feel like sometimes is overlooked by implementators, interviewers, project architects, is which web standards should be followed in terms of accessibility and coding rules. I'm not concerned about the coding standards, but mostly about the accessibility standards. If you care about the accessibility, if you are developing the website for the customer, which is aimed on assisting people with different kind of diseases, or not diseases, sorry, disabilities, it's important for you to be available for those. So if you care about accessibility of the website, you may want to try to comply with some specific accessibility standard, or even better, to the group of standards. It ensures your website is available for everyone, including people with different kind of disabilities. So think about implementing the website in such a way it meets requirements defined by, let's say, Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, the WCAG, or the User Agent Accessibility Guidelines, UAAG, or for those of you who are developing websites that applies to the United States, the Section 508 would be the standard that defines what your website should comply to. And I'm sure that you will find much more information, and basically all the necessary information on W3C accessibility page or Section 508 homepage. Right. So in addition to the accessibility standards, there are coding rule standards, of course. All of you are pretty familiar with those. The HTML, XHTML, XML-based standards. If you are developing the application for the mobile websites, the mobile client standards, web services standards, and etc. So this kind of information on requirements from customer side will get a clear picture on the resources that you will need to accommodate and the knowledge that will be involved in development process. All of those standards, the most common standards, are part of the project specification template we're going to take a look on in the end. So yeah, so once Delve now will be out, you will you may use the project specification to interview the customer and ask for the standards requirements. Okay, let's move to another question, the fifth one. It's a question on which third-party products and web technologies will be used on your website. And right, and if your project requires integrating with some third-party component like Telerik controls or component art or server controls, etc., or some external software like ERP, CRM, custom.NET applications, and so on, or some other technologies like specifically the customer wants to have a flash banner there or Microsoft Silver application placed on a page template, you should, and you obviously will keep track of those as well. But what I noticed with some of our customers during my consulting sessions, sometimes if the integration covers some control or some JavaScript banners or JavaScript tracking code that should be placed on the page template, or lead central tracking code, or some similar stuff, the small ones that the developers consider to be the easy ones. They do not keep track of the requirements, and sometimes, even if the implementation goes well, when the project is taken over by some other developer, those pieces of information are missing, and it sometimes end up with a lot of errors generated with the even log of your website, and no one is actually able to find out why. However, if the change will be sorry, I switched to another slides. If the change would be recorded somewhere, those could be easily avoided. What is the content lifecycle? Who is responsible for the content management? This question is very often, and the content management system itself is, from its name, is clear that it's almost all about the content. There are several key roles that may think of the content in slightly different way, that may understand the term content in slightly different way. You should therefore clarify with the customer how the content is going to be managed by a specific role, and what the responsibilities of these roles are concerning the content of the website. So we have, for the purposes and for the needs of delivering our methodology, we have defined the 4 groups that in some way works with the content or are related to the content, and those groups aren't basically just the users, but there are users like editors and contributors. There is the integration point of view, there is the staging point of view, and the archiving point of view. So from the editors and contributors point of view, it's important to know what type of users would be responsible for creating, updating, and deleting documents. Whether the website visitors get the chance to contribute to the website through the user contribution web parts, or whether only the authenticated and authorized users with access to the CMS desk will be able to do so. This information will provide additional pieces into puzzle to set up the source and target locations for documents managed by live-site visitors or CMS desk users. Another piece of information to gather from customer related to the editors and contributors and the content is whether the content will be subject to workflow, what steps should it go through before being published, and the most important, what the roles would be in charge of approval in the particular step. So as you can see, through this question you basically make your customer to think of the roles on the website that the users will need to be grouped somehow, and you will get all the information to set up the content tree and the workflow in the right way. Then I mentioned the integration point of view. Of course, when you integrate the project with some third-party CRM or ERP systems, it's important to know whether there is a call for spreading the same change all the way to the external system. So if you make a change to the user or to the product in the e-commerce, whether the change should be updated to the CRM or ERP system, and what is the user requirement on those. As you know, if such behavior is necessary, you will need to implement the custom event handler to hook up the event when the system object gets changed, and to push the changes to the external system. Also, you want to know what task needs to be accomplished in the external system in reaction to the system object change. Once the data reach the destination of the external system, what task needs to be performed there. From the staging point of view, it's useful to know whether the customer is interested in isolating the staging and production environment, and because in some scenarios the content gets entered and published on the staging server first, and then pushed to the live site using the synchronization. So that way you will make your customer think of what's going to happen if editor entered the content on the live site and accidentally publish it before it's reviewed when the workflow is not used and stuff like that. So you should explain the pros and cons of staging to the customer and receive the feedback on this functionality. From the archiving point of view, again, it's based on my experience with customers who run the website for some time and suddenly they have a lot of documents in the tree and they do not know what to do with these documents, whether to remove them, remove those outdated ones from website completely, so whatever content was included, it disappear, or whether it would be suitable to archive it, to only archive it instead. So they won't display on the website, but will be still available for the later republishment. Okay, let's move to another question. Yeah, the content cultures. I believe that in today's world, it's almost must to have your website in multiple languages. If you are not on the market that doesn't necessarily calls for multiple languages. If not, if it's not multicultural, then, or if you're not a global player, it's not important. But I believe that most of you are working with multilingual page websites. So to estimate the amount of work involved in developing the website, it's good to know how what cultures the customer wants to include in the website, and the amount of work obviously grows with the number of different language cultures your project needs to support. So talk with the customer about what countries they plan to expand with the website to. What would be the difference in the content for particular language versions, whether they want to simply translate the text, or they want to perform some more significant changes for different language culture. Discuss how the feel and look of the website should get modified based on the selected culture, how the different culture would influence the website structure, the page hierarchy, whether the all the cultures will display all the pages, but basically just translated, or some of the pages won't be available for different for particular cultures, and so on. Whether the customer require translation of the administration UI, CMS desk and CMS site manager. If the customer wants to get the UI in the language, you should check with the localization packs page on Kentico.com whether the package is available, so you can also include it within the time and cost estimates for the website, and so on. And the last question is the required availability of the website. I'm not sure whether the normal, or the usual customers are aware of the term availability of the website, or whether they are concerned about something like availability. But as with other online solution or projects, might encounter difficulties running on the live server due to the different reasons. It doesn't need to be necessarily the problem of Kentico CMS website implementation itself, or the problem of the custom code at all. It might be an issue with the web server, SQL server, network, maybe even the data center availability or whatever. But you are still kind of responsible for how the website, what is the availability of the website. So thus you should talk about availability expectation with your customer too. If you are not, if your customer is not familiar with the meaning of the word availability in a web terminology, there is a lot of information over the internet, even including the post of our product manager Michael Neuwirth on devnet.kentico.com in the blog sections section on the right. If you click on Michael Neuwirth blog, there is a post on availability. So but anyway, the availability is basically expression of ratio between the uptime, time the site is running and serving user requests, and downtime, the site is unavailable in a given period, usually in a period of 1 year. So the high availability that is somewhere between 99% to 99.99% of up and running time could be achieved and managed by facilitating advanced scenarios within your solution, like RAID fields to provide disk stripping or disk mirroring extension to your storage environment, or you may consider enhancing live environment setup to support failover clustering, and automatic fail detection, or on top of the failover clustering, you may consider using this log shipping technique that may take place to support failure resistance and log propagation between multiple nodes. So yeah, and one more that came in my mind right now, the useful method for gaining better availability could be the SQL Server replication or the often neglected backup and recovery technique. So yeah, I believe that the availability of the website is also important one, and even if your customer is not concerned about this, you should probably discuss his requirements, explain what the availability is, and how you can help the customer to provide the best availability. So this basically concludes the discussion on 8 questions I selected from the set of requirement questions that we kind of included within the Deliver Now methodology. And as we are getting closer to the end of the webinar, let me show you present you the template for the project specification and website structure sheet, and then we will have some time for the question. So let me go over here, and hopefully you should see the document. As I said, the Deliver Now is still being developed. However, so this is the working version. It's not the final version, but it will give you an idea what you can expect with Deliver Now methodology. As you can see, it's a template with brackets where you can replace that you can replace by the actual website name. In this case, it contains information on introduction and general requirements, multilingual support, wireframes, navigation, document types, bench templates. It will contain, once you fill it up, it will contain all those information, and you can take it and pass it to the developer to give him the source of the requirements that will be used over and over again whenever there is any anything unclear to the developer. So yeah, it will be created in this way. So you will fill the website name, you will fill the goals in here, you will fill the expected number of page views and documents. You will have tables where you specify the nodes on whether the standards are required and what are the other standards. If you want to extend the table, the accessibility standards could be specified here. The set of predefined other requirements, the general requirements like browser that should be supported, resolution of the website that should be native for your project, the required response time. That's something that I'm not sure if you usually consider as something that the customer may influence development model for Kentico. What will be the web farm support and content staging usage on your website? What resources you will use to achieve the website availability required? What will be the multilingual support, like the list of cultures supported by the content and on UI related to the membership. What roles will be present on the website and the description of the roles. Regarding the content management, for example, what type of users like editors, designers, live site visitors, etc. What type of users will be authorized for the specific roles? What will be the workflow applied to the content and the specific path? You will define your steps and roles that are authorized for this workflow. You will be able to specify what will happen with the archive deleted content and what roles will be responsible for this. The section for providing details on integration with external systems. The place where you specify the wireframes, your wireframes. The sitemap definition. For the detailed website structure, you will get an Excel sheet that I'm going to show you in a minute. So you will just define the sitemap and then the details in the Excel sheet. You will get the chance to specify the secured or membership areas, the path, description, and purpose of the area. Also include any concerns on personalization, the navigation section where you should provide the details on navigation that you received from the customer. What will be the navigation element in here? If there will be multiple navigation elements, you could mention all of them. The description on the navigation element, including the location, purpose, layout of the navigation, and what items it should display. Then obviously the uploaded files section, where you describe what type of files should be stored in the content tree or in media library as an attachments, whether the files should be stored in database or file system, and how to set up those in addition to that. And then another section related to document types, where you specify all the custom document types, including the fields specification. So then the developer just take a look in the project specification, and will be able to set up the document type without any further discussion with project managers or system architects. And then the most important part from this project specification document would be probably the page templates, where you should describe and provide as many information and details as possible to on master page, the header, main navigation element, footer, and then the particular page templates. So you would have an image of the page template, how it should look like, and you may describe what the elements on the page template are, and what is the purpose of these elements, what kind of information it will display, what functionality should be provided by these elements, and so on and so on. With the Delaware methodology, you will not get just this template, but apart from that, you will get one project specification example. So the most probably we will use the new Kentico.com project specification to actually show you what kind of information you may include in this document, and to see for yourself whether the way we have realized that we want to use for the methodology, whether it works for you as well. So if I get quickly back to Excel sheet, this basically provides detailed information on all the pages, of course all the main pages in the website structure. If you're going to create thousands of articles, you don't care about those document types. We're going to or the site structure should include only the page document types. So you specify the page, subpage, the template used for the page, the document type used for this page, whether it's going to be a link document, whether it should be shown in navigation or sitemap, the basic setting that the developer should specify some notes, the current progress status, what is the status of design specification, the design itself, how the development goes, what is the deadline for finishing this page, and the preparation of this page, and whether the content is ready, and whether the proofreading was done. Of course, you may add your own columns there to so the website structure do the most of work for you. So I feel that this one could be the big help for you and your developers in when working on the content tree population. Okay, so this was the simple demo, and we have reached the time, but of course as during the any other webinar, there is a time for question and answers. Um, I'm curious whether you have any questions related to this. I know that if you are experienced partner, you have your own, or probably your own way how you get the information from the customer. But anyway, I believe that it was helpful for you to attend this webinar, and if you have any question that I could answer to you, it would be great if you could use the question box on your control panel, and I will answer it. So I will give you some time to enter the question, and if no questions arrives, I will finish and end this today's webinar. Okay, so it seems like there are no questions. Before I finish, before I close the webinar, I would like to ask you whether you feel like these non-technical webinars are helpful for you in some way, or if you have any feedback for me on these less technical webinars, if you could send me an email, it would be great, because you know, we want to do those webinars about the things that interests you and that will helpful for you. So I would really grateful if you could thankful if you could send me an email and let me know what you think about this non-technical series of webinars, and if there is any specific webinar you would like to see in the future. So thank you for your time, and we'll see on some of upcoming webinars.